Welcome back to your 30 Days of Fitness with Mind Pump. We are back to your guys' upper body movements. We're going to start off first with the inverted row. Then Justin's going to take you to the flat bench flies. Then we're going to move into the straight arm pull down. Then he goes into the laterals. Then he goes into hammer curl with an overhead tricep extension. This is going to be a superset, so he's going to run both those movements back to back. And then the final exercise is the push-up with rotation. Don't forget, we're still targeting that NEAT. We want to be getting anywhere from 14 to 16,000 steps every single day. And make sure you guys tune in all the way to the end of the video. Sal brings it all together for you guys.
All right, Sal.
This is a new one.
It is a new one. We've got you a little superset for you guys today with the push-up and the inverted row.
Now, a squat rack will come in handy for this one. That way you can switch back and forth. So you see here Justin doing just your standard push-ups elevated on a bar. Focus on the squeeze of the pecs. Focus on continual motion. Focus on keeping good connection to the chest, shoulders, and triceps.
Now, here's Sal. This is a perfect example where you guys know, if you guys listen to Mind Pump, we tend to tease people that use the Smith machine a lot, but here's a place where I might actually use the Smith machine.
That's right.
Because the higher the bar is up, the easier the push-up's going to be for Justin. The lower the bar is, the more challenging it is. So this allows me to move the bar up and down based off of whoever it is I'm training, and then they could turn right around and flip into the inverted row. So this would be a great time to use the Smith machine, so you can adjust it to whatever difficulty you need. But if you just have a normal squat rack, that works also.
This is one of those times, Adam, where you have important information. I'm glad you shared that. So you notice how he did a superset. He went straight from the push-up to the inverted row, no rest. After he completes the inverted row, the entire set is done. Take a break, and then you repeat the superset again. So think of it as one big set, 2 exercises, but one big set.
Excellent. So I love when you take my information and then you say it again and make it sound better.
Isn't that great? Next exercise coming up, flat bench flies. Okay, here we go. We're on the flat bench fly. Isolation movement for the pecs. You want the palms facing each other, elbows bent but fixed. You want to reach out with the arms, let them come down till you get a good stretch on the chest, then bring them together.
All right, nice and slow and controlled, Sal. Also want to make sure you keep those elbows in a fixed position. Most common mistake I see with this movement is the flexing and extending at the elbow, and then you start to feel that in your bicep and tricep because you're moving around. Make sure you keep it in that fixed position. Start with a lighter weight first. Make sure you get the mechanics down, and you can actually feel this in your chest before you progress up in weight.
Keep your feet planted on the floor. Natural arch in the lower back. Don't put your feet up on the bench like a lot of people do. That's a good way to promote shoulder problems. Believe it or not, it causes the chest to cave forward. You don't want to do that. Feet flat on the floor, chest high as you do this movement. Coming up next, straight arm pull down. All right, this will be your last time doing this exercise, a straight arm pull down. Same position as before, same form as before. Bend over, good posture. Get a cable that's above your head or at eye level. Arms stay straight. You pull down the rope down towards your sides, pulling the shoulders back. Squeeze the back and come all the way up.
This is what we call an isolation exercise. So this is not something that you want to go really heavy. You're better off going lighter and really paying attention to the form and technique of this. We're just really trying to get those lats engaged right now. Justin's really focused on retracting his shoulders and squeezing his shoulder blades together each time he comes in.
That's right. It's important to also tighten your core, especially at the bottom of the motion. Otherwise, you might arch your back and experience some shearing forces in the low back. We don't want to do that, so keep the core tight. Next up, laterals.
All right, here we are. We are back with the side laterals. Today, Justin is actually standing. We know last week we showed you guys an option to sit down. He's going to be standing up today. Doing these side laterals. Not a lot going on here, just a few cues to watch out for, huh, Sal?
That's right. I'm glad you called them side laterals. That's actually the term that Arnold Schwarzenegger used to call this particular exercise.
Is that where you got the name from?
Sounds redundant.
It does.
But if Arnold said it, I think it's good.
Oh, it must be true.
Elbows slightly bent, lift the hands out to your sides. Pinkies should be slightly higher than the thumbs or parallel to the thumbs as you come up. You don't want to go up any higher than about eye distance. In other words, you don't want to bring your hands all the way to the top.
You got to keep in mind that we're working a very small muscle here. The shoulder's broken up in 3 parts, right? And then that center part of your shoulder is what we're working on right now. And if you start to get heavy weight swinging it up there, then the traps and other big muscles start to take over the lift.
Now, you say small muscles, but you haven't seen my shoulders, have you?
Very good point, Sal.
Excellent. Coming up next, hammer curls, supersetted with overhead tricep extension.
All right, Sal. I love having Justin do movements like this because it seems so foreign for this guy who doesn't like to do isolation exercises.
As big as his arms are, he doesn't do these too often. But these are great movements for building the muscles of the upper arm. Hammer curls, basically it's no different than a regular curl. The only difference is the palms are facing each other.
Right, so we get a little bit more forearm involved, right, Sal, when we do that?
A little bit of forearm, a little bit of what's called the brachioradialis muscle, and brachialis, which is a muscle that lies underneath the bicep, actually gives the arm makes the arm look thicker.
So important to incorporate this with your standard basic bicep curls.
That's right. Now, after you're done with your hammer curls, immediately switch to the overhead tricep extension. You're going to use one dumbbell for this. Hands underneath the top of the bell, hands together, elbows stay fixed, and you come all the way down and extend all the way up. Upper arms stay fixed in position, though.
Now, Sal, I need to warn these people here when they're doing this standing, though. One common thing I see a lot is people tend to arch their low back when they pull something up over their head like this. So make sure you activate those glutes, squeeze the butt, and then activate your abs. Abs are tight, glutes are tight while you drop that dumbbell so you support that spine.
Excellent point. Keep your core tight. We can't stress this enough. Coming up next, push-up with rotation. All right, so we're going to get into push-up position on your toes, on your hands, tight core, go down into a full push-up, come all the way up, take one hand, point it straight up at the sky, look at that hand, bring it back down, and repeat the cycle on the other side with the push-up in between.
We're just alternating back and forth. Couple points to pay attention to, Sal. Make sure that you keep your feet, you want them lined up with your hips to start off, but if you go wider, it's a little bit easier. You bring your feet in, it's a little more challenging. Also, this is something that a lot of people may not be able to do. A lot of people cannot do just a single push-up with good form. So if you need to, you can drop down to your knees and do these off your knees still.
I'm glad you said that, Adam. Also, if you find your wrists are being strained on the floor, just grip the floor with your hand that's on the floor. You're not actually gripping the floor, but you're trying to make that intention. That should take some pressure off of your wrists.
All right, guys, today you did an upper body strength building. You did some isolation movements. You might have noticed that we added a new exercise at the beginning of the workout. Let's just do a quick rundown. Today, the new movement is the push-ups and inverted row superset. Now, why did we put that at the beginning? Why don't we just add that at the end? We're using that as a primer for the rest of your exercises. We want you to fire those pecs, fire those shoulders and triceps, and fire those lats, rhomboids, and biceps. Get them warmed up, get them pumped, get them connected so that when you do the rest of the exercises in the workout, you're going to get more muscle fibers activated, you're going to build more muscle, you're going to feel more connected to those exercises. So there is a method behind the madness. So that was your new exercise. Then you went to your flat fly, which was your chest. Then you went back to working out your back with your straight arm pull down. Then we went to shoulders, laterals. Then you did your arm exercises, your hammer curls supersetted with your overhead tricep extensions. Don't forget, when you're doing the supersets, there's no rest in between sets. The goal is to treat it as one exercise. You're just going from biceps to triceps. Finally, we did push-ups with rotation. You're probably thinking, why am I doing push-ups twice? This is totally different. That movement really focuses on the rotation. When you're doing your push-up, you're working your shoulder within one particular range of motion. When I rotate, I have to open my chest up, and now I have to support my body in this position right here. Very good for shoulder stability. It also works the mid-back a little bit, which you probably already noticed by doing that. More volume this week, right? More work. You're probably getting sore. That's not a bad thing at this point. All exercises, 3 sets, 8 to 12 reps. Add weight wherever you can. If these movements are so easy that you're doing 1,000,000 reps, just do them slower. It's okay if you do more reps on those. Those are body weight, so those kind of don't count in terms of the rep range we're recommending. Tomorrow, mobility, we're going to show you a new exercise again like we've been doing every single week. Look, share this video with your friends. Get them on board. Let's all do this workout together. If you have a question, put it in the comments. Finally, subscribe to this channel. We post new videos all the time.